Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I think, again, this lineup is actually really solid. This draft is the kind of draft I'd expect from any team in Division 1. Like, it's very clean. It's got its own synergy. It's got some good timings. It's got some ways to punish. It's just perhaps the Nyx is a little bit more of the wild card factor here. But if utilized well from Raxi, I mean, you can just constantly stalk this Medusa, stop Arteezy from farming up, and apply that pressure early on. I feel like the launching point for Alpha here has got to be Steel. It's got to be this Ember. His lane matchup against Abed, Void Spirit versus Ember, maybe not as straightforward, although we have seen Embers kind of take that over, especially if they just go max Flame Guard. But that is a bit of a dilemma for the Ember. You don't necessarily want to go max Flame Guard just to win your lane because you've got a Magnus. You've got Empower. You kind of want to just max out Sleight of Fist first. So I want to see how Steel prioritizes this. Whether or not he's going to look to just win lane, ignore his scaling early on, or just flat out have a tougher lane, try to outplay Abed, but always having that Sleight of Fist in mind with the Empower. And that feels like the long-term better choice.
Let's see how it pans out. I mean, we will be starting with the mid lane, and I think Abed will just have the advantage here as the Void Spirit. Like, this hero just feels so powerful right now. We'll see what Steel can get done. It's not going to be an easy matchup. I think best case scenario for Steel is he just kind of evens out the mid matchup here and just doesn't end up giving a solo kill away to Abed. He's not a bad player by any stretch of the imagination, but against a hero like Void Spirit right now and against a player like Abed, I think you'd rather just look for the even matchup if you can.
Yeah, maybe just go for that Flame Guard build that we've seen as an answer to Void Spirit, just to have that stronger start, that initial farm. Again, you do take away the bite of, say, the level 3 Empower from Satoshi down the line. You're not going to be ripping apart these heroes. And whenever that Flame Guard is down, Abed just runs up. You're not going to trade right clicks with Void Spirit with Resonant Pulse up and running. In fact, overall, you're just not going to trade right clicks with Void Spirit all too favorably here. We'll have to see how Steel manages. I do believe the support rotations do feel pretty damn good on Alpha's side if they can leave their side lanes. And you get this Mirana rotating in down mid. You get the value point in Searing Chains. There's a kill opportunity that can present itself on Abed, perhaps at the 6-minute mark for those early power runes. So that is something I'd like to see Alpha lean into as well.
Top lane, you're going to see Blitzkid and Tokaya against Saberlad and Fly. Fly's actually moving up here against Tokaya right now and does hit the Gale. With the Poison Sting damage, he's got the kill. Tokaya has no level 2, so he doesn't have Leap. But no Fly, he will back himself out of there. I mean, he could have gone for a bit of a cheekier dive. Maybe one or two more right clicks may have done the trick, but Fly decides better of it. Will force the regen and the salve commitment from Tokaya. I guess maybe if he had a blood grenade on the Venomancer, he probably could have just guaranteed the kill, but sadly for him, doesn't have one.
It's actually all right to get out in the Venomancer lane. Honestly, sometimes it feels like you don't want kills. You want to suppress the economy more than anything else. And we already saw from Tokaya, he had to buy out more regen to fly in, which if you just do that exact same move from Fly, you just burn through that regen once more. So you're just wasting gold and a resource that immediately gets depleted and just cut off any progression from Mirana. Sure, you're not getting that initial farm on the Veno, but you're stopping the Mirana from being a factor early on.
There you are. Top lane, Blitzkid. Bit of a run here as Saberlight's just doing so much damage, gets the blood grenade off, so Blesskid's in pretty big danger. Fairy Fire up, another blood grenade being thrown, this time onto Saberlight. Let's try and make sure he can't keep up the chase. Now it's going to be another salve committal here, this time for Blesskid and Tokaya himself. The thing is, like, he's just so far off getting that cornucopia. So that added regen that the Ursa requires to stay in this lane is just not coming anytime soon.
Again, just wasting a lot of money out. It doesn't cost Fly too much to spam his spells. He still has a Mango. He's got the Healing Lotus he can kind of steal, although I believe he's already taken that. So he's got a lot of pocket regen on hand. You've already got the Arcanes up in Saberlight as well. Oh, Fly.
Oh, Fly. Fly might just be dead. And oopsie daisies. Blesskid, I think I'm not sure if that's an actual disconnection, I'll tell you, Johnny. He timed that one real nice. Sorry, internet dropped out.
Yeah,
we believe that, Braxy. Sure it did, Braxy.
It happens. It happens. You wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, you let it pass. Iron Fly's gonna die. Yeah, so it's fine. Fly's gonna
Bit of
die.
a shame.
And
He's. Yeah, go on, John.
Takai's probably gonna die. He does have one leap, but Saberlight should be able to try to right click down.
I mean, I think he'll be all right. One leap should be enough, surely. We'll see. We'll wait, see exactly what happens. Thing is, a bit sad for Fly, John, because he's got a healing Lotus, but it's in the backpack right now. I believe he actually dragged out the salve instead of keeping the healing Lotus. So had he had that, the 125 health restore, that might have been Takaya dying and Fly surviving through this. But sadly for Fly, a bit of unfortunate timing for himself. Takaya is going to be able to secure, at least if you are Fly, though, you are going to get yourself a nice reset. So there is that.
I suppose it does feel like you're probably not gunning for the reset as you are fully topped up on mana. Saberlight's gunning for this, so he wants the trade. He should find it. Here you go. Oh, yeah, he does.
Bleskid's going to try for something. It's going to be a lot of wasted time, though, that he's not at the creep wave. He'll turn back around now. Keep in mind, a couple creeps already lost to the tier 1 tower, and Saberlight is probably just going to wait for the Venom to be back as bottom. Braxy, be able to secure the water rune here against Crit. Meanwhile, that mid matchup, still a very even affair between these two teams. The happy days in that sense for the side of Alpha.
I mean, I do like this coming out from Steel. It's just managing to control that lane really well. He is forced to go for a 0-2-2 build, so no chains, which means connecting with your Moran is going to be a little bit tougher. You are just going to be playing a little bit more passively on that Ember.
Satoshi is just going to die. It's a little bit unfortunate for Satoshi, but they did have the info that Crit was coming. Like, Braxy was being chased the whole time, so well, Satoshi maybe just not getting the memo and kind of hands his life away to Arteezy.
Yeah, nice freebie for Artur to find. Already a free lane for himself. Right, the Magnus just not having presence against the Medusa. Magnus Nyx just doesn't really stop the Medusa from farming up.
Oh, bless kid. He used the Earth Shock while he was in the Pit of Malice. See, he did not move, but looks like he's gonna. Oh, Crit's here. Crit sneaking up. Bless kid. Oh, run, bless kid. Oh. Takaya, run. Get out of there. He's got one more leap charge. He gets bashed mid Pit of Malice. Crit.
Yep.
A double kill for him.
Yep. He's having a fun time. He is just having all that impact. I mean, you can leave the Medusa alone. It's so funny because your Medusa's not under pressure. So your Spirit Breaker is free to just play this game as he sees fit. There's just no kill threat. That is the issue with Alpha's draft. Going for that Magnus plus these supports. Neither one plays with Magnus all too well. It's not like you have the Techies, which was first phase banned. And you're kind of in control of this game now. Shopify Rebellion 4-1, 3K net worth lead early on. Insane efficiency coming out of these lanes. Artur and Saberlight both having a fantastic time already.
Oh, Abed. Trying to move in onto Steel. Gonna run out of mana, so won't keep going. Did have another step charge, but again, no mana available for that one. Meanwhile, bottom, big chase onto Satoshi. Crit is gonna land the charge. Satoshi is still trying to fight back. No skewer available though, so he can't really hope to drag him underneath the tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, top lane, Takaya's on the run. They will not land the Pit of Malice though, so the Mirana's gonna be just fine. There's now Crit looking to move back in, gets another bash off onto Braxy. Well, at least for Alpha, they do have a creep wave behind the tier 1. So they've got a bit of time to farm here. For Satoshi,
Yeah, they've got some time to farm and...
Still may not have much time here, John. The charge is incoming. He does have a slide of fist, but he doesn't see the SB in time. Nevertheless, he does get the kill. Arvid is down. Crit is going to tank the arrow. He did have the bulldoze going, so it's not going to be a long duration. Pretty big pick-off, though. They'll get Abed, a Saberlight, on the run. Bless kid, he's going to make it out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just to bail out. Crit playing on the edge, charging down bot on a sliver of HP, but Satoshi's not healthy either. This Medusa's been allowed to get way too much in that lane. Despite all this aggression coming out from Alpha elsewhere, your big issue going on here is still going to be the Medusa, and your answer in Ursa is not doing particularly well. Blessed Kid is actually also going for the defusal early on.
Crit's manning up here. Braxy looking to try and go for this. They will land the stuns out. Problem is, Braxy is going to die as well. So Crit kind of trading his life away to give it to Arteezy. Braxy, he likes what he sees, though. He does secure the kill first, so he'll be happy with that. Zarbet. Big chase out. Slider Fist going to land from Steel. They'll just go back for the Power Rune instead. Just going to be a very nice double damage there for the Ember. And Arbet, I mean, he's not having the greatest time. Still ahead in terms of net worth against the Ember Spirit, but props to Alpha. They are keeping him, as down as they possibly can.
Yeah, they're doing their best. Again, Steel has done a fantastic job to equalize that mid. Just opting for the usual Sleight of Fist build with a little bit more investment in the Flame Guard as well, skipping that Searing Chains. That does mean it's a little bit harder to pin down the arrow combination, but you've got the output, you've got the farm early on, you can kind of build on that foundation. It does come at the sacrifice elsewhere though. Again, Blessed Kid is not having a good time here. Again, queuing up the defusal over Battle Fury. Okay, I guess he's just gonna have to rely on the Magnus, which is fine, but it's not like you'll have him power all the time while farming.
Here we go, Fly. Top lane, gonna find himself in a bit of danger. Blessed Kid is gonna jump in. Fly is gone. Nice pick off here for Alpha. Getting the Venom Mantle once again. Is still now gonna show up top lane, trying to chase down Saberlight. Well, Saberlight's gonna go back towards the creep wave. Gets the Fiend's Gate down, but I don't know how he's going to get through it. Maybe just expecting his team to back him up, and here comes Arbet. He is going to be around in the Void Spirit. Crit's charging in, right onto the Mirana. He has got the damage for Takaya to go down. Meanwhile, onto the Nyx now. They do also find Braxy. Braxy is gone. Still chasing down Crit. Blessed Kid will be able to pick it up. And somehow Takaya actually survived through all that engagement. He was like one hit away from dying, but I guess being underneath the tier 2 tower with some stick charges proves to be enough. So he will make it out. And Alpha, they are again successfully fighting back.
They're finding some support trades. You are still losing a lot of the map in terms of efficiency, right? Like this is aggression onto where your Ursa's trying to farm. This is forcing your mid-rotation early on. Your Magnus is still trying to play catch-up. Like the free farm you get in exchange for Arteezy, it compensates for all these trades. He's at 5.7k net worth right now on the Medusa, a significant amount higher than any of the cores on Alpha, all of them sitting at around 3k to 3.6k. So you're going to hit this really early Manta timing coming out from Artur. You're going to get the stats up. You're going to have some HP, more mana. You're still a ways off from the level 6 of this Nyx. So you can't just stalk Artur here either. And honestly, Shopify Rebellion probably doesn't mind. I am very curious though about several things. Like we've seen Shopify Rebellion post TSM. I have not seen Bulba in the background acting as principal. In the detention room. He's not there to monitor detention anymore. They're free.
They are free for now. Shopify. Not needing the big boss Bulba to come in and let them know how everything's going. Starbet. Run into Steel. Steel does find himself a shield rune now and has a double damage rune going. So a lot of damage here on the Ember. It does wear off now, the double damage, so not going to bother trying to jump in and go blind onto Arbet. I suppose the thing is with Shopify, like even though the game does seem even, you're 5k behind and Satoshi bottom lane has been charged by Crit, so that means he is probably just dead. And he will be. Crit able to pick up the kill rather. And things are just not looking great for Alpha. Like you might be evening out these fights, but the net worth is not going your way at all. This top lane,
Certainly not.
They might find Saberlight. Get a Malice down. Saberlight not looking like he has a good way out of this. He is tanky, but not so tanky against Blessed Kid, though. He's going to try for a TP and he might just make it. Oh, no.
Oh.
I mean, they threw everything with the kitchen sink at the guy. Onto the Magnus now. Skill was committed and was interrupted by Crit just in time. It's the Aether Remnant going to land perfectly from Arbet. TP's incoming, but cancelled off immediately. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. It's a risky fight to take. The gate comes out as well. Saberlight shows up. They take that bot tier 1, which is a pretty big tier 1 to take. You've got easier access to the wisdom runes. You've got some good angles to take now as well, and Crit's just running by himself, no care in the world.
Alpha being chased down. Braxy in pretty big danger. Goes for a spike carapace, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough to survive his crit. He'll see Takaya. The leap away is there, but that was the final leap he had. Takaya now having the help of Steel to try and keep him alive, and it will actually make it, just barely, as now Bleskid's going to move in. He'll go after Arbit, but the Dissimulate is going to save. The Shopify, they are actually running. In fact, they're moving back in now to Steel. The Ember being targeted. Meanwhile, on the back, Arbit, he got hit by an arrow. He should be down here, and the RP is going to make sure he does go down. The Satoshi will give his own life away for it. Still a good trade for Alpha. They're going to move on to Braxy. Braxy looked like he has no way out of this. Does throw the Impale out, but it is not going to be enough. He'll die a second time throughout this team fight. And Shopify will still end up being able to go after the mid tier 1.
They take it for free. Arteezy shows up early with this really scary timing on his Manta, just rushing into the butterfly. Like, the Deuce has just not been contested at all. Your answer in Ursa, it's not ready. Diffusal's still on the way out for a Blessed Kid, and you still don't have level 6 for Braxy. So you don't have that instant 50% mana gone here for the Medusa.
Crit going to be able to get away with the charge. Arteezy now going to show up and get Alpha out of there. Kind of the beautiful thing about Spirit Breaker, like, you pop Bulldoze, all the stuns last no time, and then you just charge away. That's kind of the beauty as well, right? Because his status resist on Bulldoze went up in 7.33C. And on top of that, in 7.33, all the stun durations of practically every hero went down. So SP's just walking with a BKB constantly, it feels like.
Yeah, there's not much to stop you, and you've got your own stuns to pump out now as well, which feels... It always feels kind of shit when you're kind of chain stunned there.
Don't need to swear, Jonathan. How dare you?
That's what Spirit Breaker does, though, right? Like, there's no other way to put it. You get chain bashed in a row. It doesn't feel nice.
Why? Oh, they missed the Impale, but it won't matter. Blind Flare will get the job done here from Braxy. 11-7 now, John. 9k advantage to Shopify Rebellion. Arteezy's just been free farming this whole time, sitting at 3-0-3 in terms of kill score. Meanwhile, Shopify Rebellion, they'll be able to swipe the Wisdom Rune away from Alpha. Thing is, there is a big chase going on now. Bleskid trying to get in range for the Diffusal Blade. They'd love Saberlight, I think, because Crit can just charge away. Arrow's not going to land. Bleskid is still chasing. Crit will walk right past him. They'll try to go after Saberlight. In comes Steel, but they're getting pretty deep now. They're past the tier 1 tower almost. They're going to just charge right in. A 3-man charge, and now the step charges as well. Saberlight, though, is still going to drop. Takaya going to leap away. Alpha look to be just fine. This does cost them 5 heroes. As a very nice arrow lands onto Crit now. And Alpha, they are hiding in the corner of the map as 4, which is not something you get to see very often. Blessed Kid. He'll get tipped here by Crit as he does disconnect once again. This is a pretty interesting scenario, John. There's 4 heroes from Alpha just in the bottom right corner of the map.
This is interesting. This is some stuff we've never seen. A very fascinating position coming out from Alpha. Granted, it doesn't feel like Shopify can really take advantage of this. They've only got 1 step left on Abed. They still have RP here on Satoshi. So they can make this work in their favor if Shopify decides to push the corner. We do have a little bit of a router restart now coming out here for Blessed Kid. So a little bit of an extended break here, Mike. A break in the action.
We don't mind a quick break, Jonathan. We don't mind at all.
I don't mind at all.
I mean, this is the image of these guys just stuck in the corner. Like, look at the map control Shopify has right now. Literally, the whole map is theirs.
Yep. Except this corner. They've got
except that little corner. That is true. I mean, maybe we need to put a camp there or something. You know, get an ancient camp going there as well.
Get a mini Roshan camp right there.
I mean, to be fair, they do have Roshan up.
I mean, they can take it. This is a Ursa lineup, of course, but it does feel like they need to find some of these kills first. They're not going to be able to sneak this one for free. So, going to have to look for an additional pick-off if possible. And at this point, it's a little bit strange to say, but I don't know if Shopify Rebellion cares for the early Roche. Like, even if Alpha, finds a pick-off, goes into Roche, takes it up, do you really care when your Deuce is at 10k net worth? 4k above everyone else on your own team, 5k above everyone else on the enemy team? Chances are you likely don't. Artur is actually just on the way to go from Power Treads, Manta into Butterfly with literally nothing to stop him. That is kind of ridiculous what Arteezy's been allowed to free farm here. I mean, we heard it from Shopify Rebellion last time. Saberlight, Mike muted. Right before that says, I want to farm my Arcane Blink 7-second blink. Says that, pings his gold, mutes his mic. That could be Artur right now. I want to get my 16-minute Butterfly. Mike muted, pings Butterfly constantly. Maybe that's the gameplay here.
I mean, why not? He doesn't need to talk. I mean, look at Crit's item build. He's queued up multiple Hyperstones here, John.
That's the way
Crit.
to go.
He might have muted his
build.
mic too. He might just be like, guys, this is what I'm doing.
See, the next level play here, Mike, is not a Hyperstone rush. I remember a good old meme video from way back when. I have seen a Shadow Shaman with 6 Midases. That's what Crit needs. That's the build.
That's fair.
6 Midases.
I mean,
This fellow in a
pub.
pub claimed that Dendi builds that way.
If you committed to buying multiple Midases, I feel like they should each individually have their own cooldown. I think that should be allowed. That might be the most boring meta that we've ever seen, because every pro would be like, guys, like Speed would be like, guys, I've got this new broken strategy. 5 Midases.
He would. Knowing Speed, he would definitely say that. Good God. Stop that, man, please.
Crit, look at this guy. Like, there's 4 heroes around.
God.
He's the one charging in. It's Arbed and him versus the world, and Blessed Kid is just getting chipped away at. He's dead.
That worked?
Yeah, it did. Satoshi, do not get bashed. Oh, the Rotomate tosses out, and he catches first hit. Saberlight ruined the meme moment by actually going for the smart play. Tokaya. Arrow, juked out. Crit does cancel the charge to make sure he avoids that. Still chasing, hoping for that first hit bash again. Not going to be able to get it as the leap away is there from Tokaya. But Shopify Rebellion, I mean, they're just pushing in tier 2 towers now.
Dire's bottom tower.
There's nothing to stop them. Alpha, they have all these combinations on hand. Steel's taking the back seat right now. They just find freebies.
Charging in, double stun out
God.
from Crit. They're not going to follow up on it. They'll play it safe, but this is complete and utter domination.
Crit, Mike, he unqueued the Hyperstones.
Unlucky.
He's going for a Yules.
Can I just, like, for a moment, praise Crit? Hold that thought, because Blessed Kid's in trouble. I mean, Crit is the one initiating, so I suppose I should still praise him, but
All right,
I
praise Crit
appreciate
now,
this
Mike.
item build, right? Because I've been seeing a lot of people go for the Tranquils into the drums, into the Boots of Bearing. I think the right way to play it is phase Boots into drums, if you're going to go drums, right? I think you don't need Boots of Bearing, because they are going to jump in again. Still, might actually just die to the poison damage of Fly, but looks like with the Flame Guard, he's going to be okay, though Arbed trying to jump in by himself, gets RP on the high ground, and he's gone. Arbed, what the hell are you doing, sir? Onto Braxy, they go. They want the Nyx Assassin now, but Saberlight's going a bit too deep, I think. As they are chasing down Saberlight, Blessed Kid's joined in. Slow is there from Fly. Blessed Kid still able to secure the killers. Now they're going right in for the kill, but Arteezy, he just pops a Stone Gaze. Bash out from Crit. Blessed Kid is gone. I mean, at least they got a buyback committed out of Saberlight, I guess, but they also committed one on Braxy. As, speaking of the devil, Braxy trying to help out Steel, who will pop his remnant, but Crit is coming. Crit is everywhere, and Steel has got nowhere to go. He's going to try and fight it out, but it's not good enough. Everyone just dies.
All right, Mike, it's my turn to praise Crit. He gets the casual win blaze, and now he is queuing up the Moon Shard. Full praise for Crit. He knows what he's doing. 20-10, just like our team head-to-head stats, times 2 right now for Shopify Rebellion. Artur, again, 16 or maybe 16 and a half minute butterfly coming out. How do you stop this guy? Your solution is Nyx and a diffusal Ursa being kited around.
Yeah.
You can't even touch the Medusa.
No, you can't. I mean, nobody's been able to touch the Medusa. Arteezy's just freely doing whatever the hell he wants. Still yet to be killed off this game. So he is queuing up the Skadi now. Bleskid is trying to work towards his BKB, but it's still a well a ways off, and chances are the game's not going to last that long. Satoshi, in the meantime, still trying to finish the harpoon, so he doesn't even have that to try and go for the skewer plays. Speaking of Satoshi, he has been caught in the pit of malice, and I think he's just dead. They're going to try and fight. Fly does go down. Saberlight also to drop here onto the Unlord, so that's going to be a dieback, but they've lost Bleskid. That's your Ursa gone. And Arteezy's just going for more. So is Crit, trying to go after Praxi. Crit just pump faking the Nether Strike. We'll take him down. Arteezy's been jumped, but he could not care less.
Alive?
He is out of mana, but he just doesn't care. He wants a rampage onto an ultra kill. He'll pick up the rampage here for the Medusa. Tips out. Buyback from Takaya. But what the hell is he meant to do?
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
There's not much you can do here. At least you're not going to lose too much more. They're going to need some resets here in Shopify Rebellion. Artur more than happy now, for sure. He's gotten every kill he'd want. He's got the Skadi up and running. And 26-12, 28k net worth lead for Shopify Rebellion. Alpha, again, they had some pretty interesting ideas on how to counteract, although...
Love it. Arrow connects, RP. They don't stack them the best, but you know. Sometimes you just got to make sure you get the kill. You don't want to mess around at all.
Yeah, it's you secure the kill. It's more than enough. It does stave off Artur just a little bit, trying to get some stacks. Just go back to farming, refill that mana as much as possible, and get some time back as we do take a look at that replay on the high ground siege. Just all these small pickoffs lining up. They jumped the backline, but really, what do you do about the Medusa? You can't ignore Medusa with Butterfly. She does do good right-click in the middle of these fights. You've got no aura items here on Alpha.
Yeah, I guess the one saving grace is you've got this Ember, and Steel is doing a pretty damn good job for his team, as Crit is in big trouble and is going to die. So Crit farming way too far forward. Almost has the Moonshot up, by the way. John just needs one more Hyperstone, about 400 gold off. It gets very greedy trying to farm that item, and sadly for him, he does end up going down. Shopify in the meantime, they'll just take the Dire Tormentor. No messing around.
Yeah, no messing around. Nothing too hard there. Fly does get his shard up. The latent toxicity comes in. That sounds like a very fancy name for the Southeast Asian server, now that I think about it. But it is very, very hard to deal with. The Ursa's just being kited around.
Yeah, it forced the pop in rage. War Earth shot back down to the low ground. Saberlight's still trying to chase him, but has no way to root him up. I think Crit might actually have muted his mic and said, "Guys, I'm farming Moonshot." There it is.
Yeah, I think it's his
Moonshot's
game.
on.
Yeah, it's his turn. There you go.
Here we go. How many times is this guy going to bash in a row? With this
Watch.
Moonshot up, I wonder.
Dire's bottom tower is under
We shall
We'll
find
see.
out.
If only he was level 20 as well. He could have gone for the plus 17% greater bash chance. That would have
Does
been
that
amazing.
count? Does that really
mean-
count? You're already at 100% with 17%, right?
That's
how
true.
the maths work.
It's a good handicap for Shopify.
Yeah.
Praxi,
Oh no.
gonna have to find out the hard way that Crit is doing a lot of damage right now. As they will go after the bottom racks, nothing to stop them. They've even found the Ember now. Still, he was the saving grace here for Alpha, but not so much anymore, not while he's dead. I believe it might be about time to press those buttons, boys. Press those G keys, because this game is not able to be recovered, I don't think, by Alpha. And there you go.
There you
Bleskid's
go.
had enough of this game one. Time to go back to the drawing board and try to figure out exactly where things went wrong. For Alpha, I mean, it's a very hard matchup. Like, everyone knows how difficult it's going to be against Shopify Rebellion. They give it a good crack, but I think just at the end of the day, Shopify...